Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle one of Python's most powerful tools, functions. This is the thing that's going to take your code from messy and repetitive to clean, creative, and honestly, just way more fun.
Okay, so let's start with a problem that I guarantee every single person learning to code has run into. You know that feeling, right? You spend all this time coding something really cool, maybe a character for a game or a neat pattern. It looks awesome. But then you think, I want to make another one, but just change it a little bit.
So what's your first instinct? Probably to just copy the entire block of code, paste it, and then go hunting for that one little line you need to change. You do that a couple of times, and suddenly your code is this gigantic, unreadable wall of text. It's a nightmare. There has to be a better way, right?
Well, of course there is, and it's called a function. The absolute best way to think about a function is like a reusable building block for your code, kind of like a custom Lego brick. You design it once, and then you can use it over and over again. So let's break down how that works.
Everything starts with the function definition. Seriously, just think of this as the blueprint for your Lego brick. You're writing down the step-by-step instructions for a very specific task. But, a blueprint just sitting in a drawer is pretty useless. You have to actually build something with it. And that's where the function call comes in. It's the one simple command that says, okay, Python, use that blueprint right now. Now, here's what makes them so powerful. They're customizable. We do this with something called parameters. A parameter is basically just a placeholder in your blueprint. It's a blank space, like draw a square with the color blank. And the argument, that's the actual value you use to fill in that blank space. So when you call the function, you give it an argument, like the color orange, and that's the info it plugs into the placeholder. Let's see how this all clicks together in some actual code. Right here, we define our function, draw a big square. See that color parameter inside the parentheses? That's our placeholder. Then, on the last line, we call the function and give it orange as the argument. And boom, Python takes orange, plugs it into the blueprint, and runs the code. This whole idea of define it once, but call it a bunch of times is a genuine coding superpower. Let's really see how powerful this is for making cool, complex stuff without writing tons of code. So let's imagine we already have a function called drawBigStar. It's designed to take two parameters, how many sides the star has and what color it is. To get our first star on the screen, we just have to call it. And it's that easy. One line of code. We pass in the arguments 4 for the sides and black for the color, and poof, there's our star. Okay, that's great. But what if we want to add another star, maybe a different one, to our picture? Are we going to go copy and paste all that star drawing code again? No way. We've got a function for that. And look at that. You just call the exact same function a second time, but you feed it new arguments, 5 and gold. 2 lines of code give you 2 completely different stars. This is how you build big, interesting projects without the mess. And the best part, if you ever want to change how all the stars look, you just change the function definition in one place and everything updates automatically. It's amazing. So now you can build functions. That's awesome. But being a really good coder isn't just about making things that work. It's about making things that are easy to understand. And that all starts with good names. First off, Python has some rules for names that you just can't break. They have to start with a letter, they can't have spaces, and you can't use special Python words. These rules make sure the computer can always understand what you mean. But just following the rules doesn't make a name good. Look at the code on the left. Sure, it works, but what in the world does F do? What are Z and Q supposed to be? Who knows? Now look at the right. Draw hello with size and color. Instantly, you know exactly what that code is doing. That's the power of a good name. So the big takeaway here is really simple. Name your functions and your parameters for what they actually do. A good habit to get into is using camel case. It just makes names with multiple words way easier to read. Trust me on this. Your future self and anyone else who reads your code will thank you. Okay, I've got one last pro tip for you before you go off and start building amazing things. Let's talk about how to plan out your bigger projects before you even write a single line of real code. So imagine you're starting a big project. You know you're going to need a function to draw a flower, but maybe you're not ready to actually code it yet. If you just define an empty function, Python will give you an error.
The solution is the pass statement. It's a simple little placeholder that just tells Python, hey, I know this is empty, it's on purpose, just move along for now.
This lets you map out the entire structure of your program. You can create all the functions you think you'll need, draw flower, draw stem, draw sun, and just put pass in all of them. The program will run perfectly without any errors, and what you've created for yourself is a perfect to-do list to fill in one piece at a time.
So there you have it. We've seen how to ditch that messy, repetitive code for clean, powerful, reusable functions. You have the blueprint, you know the rules for good craftsmanship, and you even have a tool for planning your creations. These really are the fundamental building blocks of almost all programming. So the only question left is, what will you build first?